You can take a step back if you want to. Hello there, friends. Welcome back to the podcast. Yes, if you are watching on YouTube, I do have straight hair today. It is weirdly put back in a ponytail, thingamabopper. I don't know. Here's what I do know. When you've had curly hair since you were 12 years old, I got curly hair and boobs the same summer. It was very confusing for everyone. Me, my classmates, come back looking like a totally different person. When you've had curly hair since you hit puberty and you're just used to being it being big, then when it's not big, it just feels so foreign. And so I should have washed it this morning. However, I was just doing an Instagram story talking about how I'm flying really early out in on Saturday morning, and I'm recording this today on a Thursday. So I'm like, can I push my hair just one more day? Just one more day. I'll wash it tomorrow. I know it's one day too many. Just love me where I'm at. Okay. If you have curly hair, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because to wash said curly hair, it's a whole event. You really have to think through your schedule. Um, Let me know in the comments of YouTube if you understand what I'm saying. Okay. With that being said, this is a funny lead into my topic for the today, which is I want to talk to those of you that are having a really hard time focusing on your business right now. And you're probably anticipating me like shaming you, trying to give you a kick in the butt, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm actually going to not. And so this will be possibly a little bit different angle than what you may be used to from me or expecting. But I was in my business breakthrough we do a call every Thursday. So it was last week. And one of the women asked the question. She said, Jennifer, I'm really just having a hard time focusing. What do I do? And she said, I'm feeling super overwhelmed and my focus is just worse than usual. And here are parts of what I said to her. I went into things, much deeper and possibly, slightly differently just because she's a paying client and we had more time. But I did get off of that call and think, you know what, more women actually need to hear this and have someone give them some permission to just to not feel so bad if your focus is off right now. So I want to also just say, as I'm starting this episode, that my focus right now is terrible. It just absolutely is. Part of that, I think, is being sometimes a female with a lot of children, a lot of irons in the fire. Between Jason and I, we have three businesses. It's the middle of summer. Can we all agree that, the things happening in politics right now in America are just a hot freaking mess? I think as a country, regardless of how you vote or don't vote, I'm going to hope you vote, but regardless of how you vote, we're collectively as a country just holding our breath, waiting for this next election season to be over with. And so when you look at all of those things, I think we should be able to dial it in. And there's just a lot going on in the world. And there's probably, if you're like anybody else, there's just a lot going on with you too, right? And so what's interesting is what happens is sometimes we're business owners, we're entrepreneurs, and we think, I've got to focus. Like my focus is so bad right now. I've got to focus. And I want you to know you're 100% normal. I think that there are seasons where you're feeling a little burned out. I think there are seasons where life is taking over. The majority of us, if you have kids, you've got kids home. It's the summertime, or maybe you're watching grandkids, or you just want to be out and about. I'm thinking of one of my mastermind clients, the Diva of DIY. She just likes to basically live at the lake all summer, and you know what? She has earned the right to do that because she has worked her tail off for years as an entrepreneur. Now, here's what you need to know. I think you're 100% normal if you're having a hard time focusing right now. I think that even for people who are at a desk job, there are seasons where maybe, everybody's a little more squirrely at the office versus a little more dialed in. Like that just happens. When I think about back to when I used to work in corporate America, I mean, there would be times we'd be, screwing around during the day and not get things done for hours at a time. So it's no different, honestly, when you're an entrepreneur. And the truth is, a lot of entrepreneurs during the summer months will take a step back because they want to. They've worked hard the rest of the year in order to be able to. And because they're an entrepreneur, they're able to do that to a level that a lot of people who have PDOs just cannot. And so I think it's important that when you're feeling bad, that your focus is perhaps not what you are used to or wish that it would, that you remember certain things like this. Like, we're supposed to be like not living to work. We're supposed to be working to live, right? So that we have money in our pocket so we can actually do things. I think that it's important that we, when we're thinking about focus and we're thinking about taking a little bit of a step back from work, that we don't start thinking, I should be putting in more hours or I should be doing whatever. Um, I really don't like that I have to and I should types of conversations that we sometimes have with ourselves, because I have to do the podcast this week. Well, it's interesting. I actually um, last week felt so uninspired to record anything on this podcast. Love you all. I just did. When you have done as many episodes as I have done, I have been so consistent. I'm so proud of myself for 6.5 years. I don't remember how many episodes I'm on. It's well over 600. This will be number 400 and something, but I also had Monday Fires. And when you've done that week in and week out for years on top of years, you'll think to yourself, I should record the podcast or I have to record the podcast. And last week I went to my team and I said, you know what? I got nothing. I got nothing. It's summer. We're getting ready to do a ton of traveling. We've got a lot going on in the next couple of weeks. I don't want to. And literally my team last week was like, okay. And so my team took care of some podcast stuff for me. I went out and enjoyed playing pickleball, my new obsession. I need to just do a whole episode on pickleball. What has even happened to me? I don't know. This is new in like the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I'm a mad woman. For my birthday, which by the way is next week, I am asking for a pickleball bag, a new pickleball paddle, pickleball shoe. It's ridiculous, you guys. It's absolutely ridiculous. Um, but you know, those statements when we say to ourselves, I have to do the podcast. I actually don't have to do the podcast. It's my business. I don't have to do it. I don't have someone giving me a promotion or demotion dependent upon me doing the podcast. I don't have somebody who's, going to be doing a quarterly review on me. Like, I get to decide because I'm the business owner, as do you. And this is one of those things like we've got to keep in mind. This is one of the perks of being the boss, right? This is one of the perks of us, even if it's just you, of you owning your own thing. You can take a step back if you want to. You don't have to, and don't shit on yourself. The whole I should be more focused. Okay, actually, do you have to be? What if you just like tricked yourself? Here's a tip for you. Sometimes I will trick myself and I'll think, okay, I have to dial it in, Jen, for the next 2 hours because I've got 2 hours of training. And then you know what? Then I can do whatever I want the rest of the day, as long as I, do post something to Instagram or whatever my team wants me to, but then I can be done. I can unfocus for the rest of the day, all that I want. I can pack my week so that I have all of my meetings on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'm off the rest of the week. I'd love to get it down to where I only have meetings 2 days a week and I can do whatever I want for the other 3. It's not that I won't be working, because I'll still be working. I just won't be working in front of a computer and a camera. Does that make sense? And so if you're feeling like, gosh, I am just not focused at all. Well, what would happen if you just allowed yourself to play just a little bit? Because the thing is, like, once you start down like this path of burnout, and things like allowing yourself some time off will prevent burnout. But once you start down that path, it's really kind of hard to back that bus up. And you get to a point then where you can easily resent your business. You just want to throw in the whole thing. Working at McDonald's looks a lot, sexier to you than what being an entrepreneur does, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so you really need to know yourself when it comes to focus in your business. Like, do you know yourself well enough to know that you could take your foot off the gas for a week or two and then get right back in? I think it's important that you know yourself. I think it's important that I know myself. And so I know, am I able to have a little bit of downtime? I did tell the woman that was in Business Breakthrough that one of the things that my team has done for me for years and years and years is when I first hired on, I think it was a project manager position when I first filled that years ago, I said, look, I just need somebody to I need to dump out my business purse and just have somebody organize my business life. And I just need somebody to be the boss of me. I think sometimes when you're super creative, you've got so many ideas that are going through your brain, so many things you could be doing. The more your business grows, the more you need to show up on social, make sure you're sending an email, getting ready for a launch. I needed to have notes for a podcast, getting the podcast scheduled, getting webinars. Like I just said, I just need somebody to tell me what to do every day. So I was telling the group that I was coaching the other day, for years now, my team has sent me a to-do list. So if I look at my to-do list over here on my other monitor for today, I know that at 11 a.m. I need to record a podcast about our equipped software with Nell. I know that I have a mindset meeting with my business breakthrough clients at 12 o'clock. They have sent me all of my notes. I know that I am interviewing Dr. Sandra Dalton Smith about the different types of rest at 1:30. Sometime today, I needed to record this podcast. I have a guest that I wanted to invite to be on the podcast. That is my to-do list for today. They tell me exactly what to do. They tell me if there is a time specific, which those meetings are all time specific, but the rest of the things that are on my to-do list, like I can do whenever today. And that's super helpful for me to get a to-do list. They'd send it to me Monday through Thursday. If you've got somebody that works with you on your team, this is an idea for you. They don't send me a to-do list Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, of course. Friday is my creative day where I just want to catch up. I go get a lymphatic massage almost every Friday. I'm doing things, maybe, making reels, et cetera, that I wouldn't on other days, but give yourself some grace right now, friends. I mean, the world is weird and it's the middle of summer. It's okay if your focus is slightly unfocused. It's okay if you're enjoying life right now. I mean, even as a team, I know that there's a lot of us on Team Allwood right now that we're kind of on cruise control, and that's okay because there will be other seasons when it is foot on the gas and we're going 100 miles an hour. This is not one of them. So I'm going to really encourage you, if you're having a hard time focusing, to just take a step back a little bit. Can you schedule some social media? Can you schedule some of your emails for next week? Could you push pause on a couple things? If you've, been doing a weekly Facebook Live, like why? Do you have to? Or are you just telling yourself you have to? Could you just maybe step back just for a little bit, enjoy some life, and get back to it at some point? Do you know yourself well enough to know that if you kind of go onto cruise control for a couple of weeks, will you get right back at it, as soon as the kids are in school or whatever? What I don't want you to do is shame yourself for not feeling like you can focus. Um, there's so many factors that go into that. Menopause, hormones, things going on in your life, the economy, stress, time of year. It's an election season. I mean, need I go on? It's just, I think it's such a crazy time to be alive. And give yourself some grace right now if you're having a hard time focusing. I know I am. I hope that you are as well. I will see you on the next episode. Bye, my friend. Easton, do I look bald? I look bald, don't I? Unless I turn my head to the side, I look bald.